We're back here on our program, The Platform, and we are speaking with a cancer survivor today, Patrice Adderley. She has been in, I don't think it is true to say that you are in remission. You are cancer-free.
Cancer-free indeed.
You're cancer-free after 20 years. Normally they say you're in remission
after
under
5 years.
Under 5?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So with 20 years behind you, you as like good as gold.
Yes, good as gold.
That chemotherapy experience, how bad was it? A whole lot of people go through a tremendous amount of agony and illness because the chemotherapy, I'm told, destroys good cells as well as bad cells.
Yes, indeed it does.
How was the experience for you?
Well, I can tell you, not so good. Well, compared to other persons, because again, everybody's experience is different, but for mine, I used to be very, very tired and nauseated. And so for me, I slept a lot, and I didn't have much of the, throwing up. But I was more or less on the constipation side, which was still worse because, having constipation and then wristing, and then I was sweating. I'm anemic as well. So at times, 3 times out of my whole chemotherapy, I wasn't able to do chemotherapy because my white blood count was down. And so once that's down, you have to wait until you either get shots to build it up, or you have to wait until another couple days or weeks to really have it done. But I can tell you, sometimes I really thought that I just didn't want to come back because you felt it wasn't one place where the pain, because again, you cannot decipher, the chemotherapy cannot decipher between good or bad cells. Now they have specific antigen testings now today, again, 20 plus years later, because of the development, the extreme is really developed now, but where they can actually zone into different cells. So if it's specific to one, they can do that. But back then, when you took that drug, it just goes all through. And so it going all through, it's killing both cells. Yeah. And so some persons have the vomiting profusely. But again, for me, I had bad feelings that I just didn't know what to do with myself. I was really weak. I just felt like, you're just in a room there, and like you just feel as though, oh my God, you just felt as though you just wanted to be taken out. Really, it was amazing.
So you had one of these genes, the BRCA1 or BRCA2?
Yes, I was tested positive for the BRCA genes testing, and actually what we found out is that we're genetic. My family, which is on my dad's side, was prone, and not just to one type of cancer, but different types of cancers, because in fact it was my aunt first. She was a radiographer at the time at Princess Margaret when she passed years, like about 15 years prior to me being diagnosed, but back then they thought it was just because of the radiation exposure, but that was the first onset, and she had breast cancer, but that was the first onset as knowing that we were genetic in line. So when we did, my sisters and we did on my dad's side, like I said, a few years ago, 8 years, my dad died, his was stomach. Prior to him, it was my uncle, he had breast cancer, Richard Adderley, and my uncle, Skibo, Anthony Roberts, his 2 daughters died of breast cancer. So we know that it's on the male genes. And then my other uncle, one of his daughters had cervical and one had breast cancer. So it's so many different types. And then my aunt was Idina Burrows. She died, and that was cervical. Okay. So it was so many different types of cancer we realized. It's not just specific to breast and the genes that we have. So it's all different types of cancer.
Yeah, so many people, mostly everybody would know somebody that has cancer. It's affected their life. And I think that it's wonderful that you're a great member in the Cancer Society. And it's so nice to hear of all the things that the Cancer Society is doing now in the Bahamas. And you were just telling me about the Outer Island program where they go to test every month.
Absolutely.
Yeah, in the Outer Islands.
The Cancer Society of the Bahamas, that organization is phenomenal. That's the hub, even though they have different subsidiaries, but it's the organization that's birthed in terms of all different types of cancer. And as such, what they do in giving back, monthly, well, we always have support group meetings every Thursday at the Cancer Society, but we also have monthly meetings where different doctors here, they come and talk about different types of cancer. We also have health programs where they do have different dietitians come in to share, you know, to always keep persons aware. And it's amazing that we don't have as much persons that come out. And so, you know, you get the word out there that you're having, but what is so unfortunate, especially knowing that the Bahamas is the radar for cancer, and a lot of foreign persons are coming here because it's so interesting, and also from Eleuthera. In fact, that's where my grandmother was from, Eleuthera. And, you know, we have a higher base of persons being diagnosed with cancer from Eleuthera.
Wow.
And so it's the Cancer Society have been doing a phenomenal program where they do the FIMS program, Family Island. They do mammography where they go on, they test, they do cervical testings as well as breast cancer testing, and they go to different islands. They carry the doctors, go and nurses, and they go there, and we volunteer. In fact, I used to do that along with the past president, Laverne. We used to go there, and it's 9 o'clock in the morning till 5. We work all day, and just encouraging persons from the islands to come out to get tested. It's free. Take advantage of it. You know, and again, sometimes we would say that we would have hoped, because sometimes we would have like about 100, you know, I'm not sure what they're doing, how they've increased now, but back then we used to have like 100 patients come out in the islands, but we always advocated for more because it's free.
And you have a lot of people in Eleuthera with cancer, eh?
Absolutely.
Because I've interviewed a couple of people who came up from Eleuthera for treatment, and some who were residents at the Cancer Society.
Yes, and that's what we're doing right now.
Yes.
We're earmarking
You
the
house
cancer
them.
care. We
Yes.
house them, and it's all free.
Yes.
It's all free. You know, the rooms there, they're wonderfully, beautifully designed. So it's really, and you can come there with a caregiver, free of charge. And what we do, the Cancer Society also buses them to their different, where they go to see the doctor and have their treatment there. The rooms are beautiful, like I said, but it's just like a home away, and you don't have to worry about the burden and that cost related effects there, because it's like your own little area, solace area for you not to be stressed out about. And, you know, they encourage persons to come in to share. So a lot of persons, volunteers, really go in and visit with the cancer patients as well. You know, and then, like I said, the Cancer Society, it buses them to and fro, so they don't have that expense to worry about. And the Stride for Life walk, which I'm a co-chair, a part of for the last 4 years, but it's now the 14th annual walk. And we've had this year over 1,000 persons on February 3rd that really came and be a part of that walk. And, you know, it really, you know, it just really shows a lot of the local vendors like Lowe's Wholesale, you know, Nassau Agency, Dalbina's, you know, Bahamas Wholesale Supply. They came in and they really partnered, you know, with us as it relates to just helping to give back and to really pull up that walk, and to really know that we were earmarked at about a $1.3 million to do another 10 additional rooms for the Cancer Care Center. And, you know, they were able to help just for that walk. We were able to help raise a whole significant amount of money. You know, again, corporate sponsors, we would not have been out without, because what we did, we kind of made it personal. A group of us got together and we wanted to give it a theme. And so for the last 4 years, that theme is still going on. We made it our partnership and sponsorship levels. It was the partner of life.
A partner of life?
Partner of life. We have a partner of hope, partner of caring, partner of love, partner of unity. And we started out with the premise of the partner of life, because when you're faced with being told that you have cancer, the first thing you think of, am I gonna live? And so with that resonating in your mind, that was our highest level. And so we were able to get a lot of persons that partnered with us with the partner of life. And then it's that hope. You know, okay, yes, you're gonna fight to live, but it's that hope. You know, you're hoping that if I do this, this is gonna happen. And then it culminates with love, because you need to have your caregivers, your friends, your family around. They're the ones, and I can tell you, don't have negative people around. If it's your husband or your wife, fire them. Even if it means you divorce them and that's it. It's okay, because at that moment, that depicts whether you're gonna live and how your quality of life is gonna be. Because if you have somebody that's negative, who's gonna think that, who's looking at you and you see death or hope, despair right on you, that puts a lot of people into depression.
You don't need negative energy.
You don't need negative energy around you.
Yeah.
And so you tell them, go away. I can divorce you. It's okay.
But there are people who were residents of the Cancer Society who I've interviewed, who are no longer here, unfortunately.
Yes.
They had wonderful stories to tell.
Yes.
And, you know, as I'm thinking about the particular lady from Eleuthera right now who sat with me on the platform, and she was so full of life. She was bubbly, so, as they say, ebullient, you know.
Yes.
And she had a wonderful story to tell as well,
Yes.
but she didn't survive.
Right.
And you were fortunate to have survived.
Absolutely.
So you have a strong testimony.
Indeed.
And so you are using your testimony to reach a whole lot of people, eh?
Yes, indeed. And, you know, I take pride on opportunities like this, and even wherever I am, to still share and to encourage women, you know, just to go and get tested, become aware, self-breast examination and knowing your body. I cannot reiterate how important that is. To just know.
Yeah. As a person of faith, what do you say to those people who will feel a lump?
Yes.
And they say, I'm a Christian. I'm going to be healed.
Yes.
I am going to leave this to God, who is going to heal me. What do you say to that person?
I would say, you know, everybody's faith walk and faith journey and their beliefs are all different and varied, but I would truly say that, you know, when God talked about Solomon being so wise, I think he enabled that wisdom in terms of giving gifts to persons that we now call the great physicians, the great advocates of nurses, and the great ones that look to spend money in terms of knowing, trying to come up in terms of different types of new medication and stuff like that to help the survivalship. I think he gives us wisdom to know that, yeah, you could have faith, you could believe, but at the same time too, you know that the God you deserve gave you common sense, and the common sense and the persons that he have put in the platform in this world to help you to sustain your health, become aware, you could entrust, but knowing who your full source is, God, I want to live, but at the same time, have the wisdom and the understanding to go to the persons that are more capable of dealing with the segment that they are. And in a case like this, your physician who can help you, your oncologist who can help you, or your nurse or somebody, or your dietitian. If you need to lose weight, like just a lot of us, some of us are weight, we know that God also gave us an opportunity to control. And so if you need to go to a dietitian to get help, if you can't curb your appetite, that's what you should start to do, even if you're a faith person.
Now there is faith, F-A-I-T-H, and there's F-A-T-E, fate.
Right, that's true too.
And as fate would have it, you are here today.
Yes, sir, indeed.
As fate will have it, you are here today. So it's beyond your faith. And as fate would have it, a whole lot of people are not with us today.
Yes. And for whatever, if it's their time, it's their time.
Some people say, whatever will be, will be.
Yes, yes. I believe you have to. God gave you common sense to get help.
To get
help.
Faith without works
is dead. Absolutely. Dead. And so
you have to work on it.
You have to work. You know, you have to work on it. So I definitely will be a proponent that having faith, but having wisdom and the common sense that God gave you to go and sought help that you need, you know, can only be commensurate with your survivalship that you, and for me, that has definitely worked, and I know, and I'm still a faith believer. And so for me, I'm very grateful that I do believe in God, but I do believe in the common sense that he gave me to sought after.
Bianca has a good question for you, so we're going to take this break, and when we return, we'll go to Bianca. And then we have to also show a video coming out of Manitoba, Canada. We take this break, we'll come right back.